Hey guys, this is Dan from Ledger Support. How's it going? So today I'm going to talk to you about the most important concept when it comes to securing your crypto with a Ledger device. This, of course, is your 24-word recovery phrase. Now, I wanted to make this video because I think there is a lot of confusion around what a recovery phrase is and why it's so important. So in this video, I'm going to cover what a recovery phrase is and how you can safely store and protect it. So let's do that. So what exactly is a 24-word recovery phrase? Now, the short answer is your recovery phrase represents all the private keys that are secure inside of your Ledger device. So let me repeat this. Your recovery phrase represents all of the private keys that are secure inside of your Ledger device. Now, it's very important to understand that anyone who gains access to your recovery phrase can very easily use the recovery phrase to clone your private keys onto a new Ledger device and then spend the funds from that device. It's that easy. All you need is your recovery phrase, a new Ledger device, and boom, you can clone the accounts. So this is the reason why you should never, ever share your recovery phrase with anyone, including us, of course, including Ledger Support. We don't need your recovery phrase to help you. So let me use a metaphor to stress the importance of your recovery phrase. I think you're gonna like it. So this metaphor involves crypto and pirates. So welcome to Crypto Island. Crypto Island is an exciting but also somehow dangerous land. So your crypto fortune is kept in a treasure chest, buried somewhere on Crypto Island. In the treasure chest, there are your private keys that secure your crypto accounts. Now, your recovery phrase is a treasure map that shows the location of your chest on Crypto Island. Now, beware of pirates. If you let anyone see the map, they'll be able to find your chest on Crypto Island and steal your treasure and the private keys inside it. And that's the end of the story. So I hope you liked it. And you see, your recovery phrase is not some optional backup password that you only need if you lose your device. No, your recovery phrase represents the private keys to all of your accounts and therefore to all of your crypto funds. So let me repeat this one more time. Your recovery phrase represents the private keys to all of your accounts and therefore to all of your crypto funds. In short, your recovery phrase is your money. It's your money. So the question now is, how do you keep it safe? So first you need to make sure that the recovery phrase is correctly copied onto your recovery sheet. So if you have any doubts, you can check the spelling of every word on your recovery sheet against what we call the BIP39 list. So the BIP39 list is a public list that lists all possible recovery words that make all recovery phrases in existence. The BIP39 list is public and can be easily found on GitHub. So let me show you for a second. So you go on Google and you type BIP39 word list and boom, you'll find the list. And so you can see the list is just a list of words and there's 2048 items on this list. So that's all the different words that can ever compose a recovery phrase. So now you might wonder if all the words are public and there are only 2048 of them, does this mean that someone could maybe guess my recovery phrase or be given the same recovery phrase? Now, don't worry, this is not the case. The number of possible combinations is so big that it's guaranteed that your recovery phrase is unique and secure. So don't worry about that. However, for a recovery phrase to be truly secure, the selection of words within the list needs to be truly random. Us humans, we are not so good at creating randomness. This is why it's your Ledger device, right? And not you who's choosing the words that compose your recovery phrase. Second, make sure to write down your recovery phrase using only upper cases or capital letters. And the reason why is because lower cases are much more difficult to read and could make it difficult for you to read your phrase in the future. So upper cases is the way to go. Next, if you ever want to check your recovery phrase, you can download the Recovery Check app onto your Ledger device via the manager in Ledger Live. Now, you can use the app to make sure that the words in your phrase are correct. Now, this article from our help center will teach you how to use the app. I would recommend doing a check every 6 months or so, just to be sure. And let me show you where in the Help Center you can find the article. So you'd go to the Help Center and type recovery check, and here's a tutorial that explains how to use the recovery check. And so, as I was saying, I think doing a check every 6 months or so is probably good hygiene, okay? If your phrase were to fail the recovery check, please contact us immediately. There might be something wrong going on. Now, finally, it's very, very important to keep your recovery phrase safe and private. So please do not share it with anyone. Do not type it into your password manager. Do not take a photo of it or type it into your computer. Basically, do not create a digital copy of your phrase. And again, the support team, Ledger support team, never needs to know your recovery phrase. We just don't need it to help you, all right? So, in short, anyone trying to know your recovery phrase should be considered a threat and a scammer. Let me repeat this because it's very important. Anyone trying to know your phrase should be considered a threat and a scammer. Now, what if you wanted to say write your recovery phrase onto something a little bit sturdier than a recovery sheet? Well, it's possible, and some solutions exist. So, for example, the crypto steel capsule, which I'm going to show on the screen right now, this one. The crypto steel capsule, for example, will let you back up your words on metal tiles that can resist fire and acid. This way, you can rest assured that your recovery phrase won't risk being damaged by moisture or fungi or fire or things like that. So if you're interested, you can buy a capsule directly on the Ledger website. It's a good investment, I think. So I hope this video was useful and that you now understand the crucial importance of your recovery phrase. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions, or you can contact us. So you can contact us via the help widget on our support page, or you can reach out to us on Twitter. We are at ledger_support on Twitter. Thank you very much. I hope that was useful, and see you next time.